Hey guys, ggDoA back once again with another little video about the new cards that have been revealed for Whispers of the Old Gods, the new Hearthstone expansion coming out. And today is actually really exciting. It's really interesting because we have essentially a brand new mechanic in Hearthstone that we haven't seen before in this Mage card and this Priest card that have been revealed. And I'll put the link in the description for the website, for the Blizzard page actually, that talks a little bit more about it too, in case you want to go read about it there. But yeah, without any further ado, let's dive right into it. So we've got a Mage card, costs 0. Forbidden Flame, spend all your mana, deal that much damage to a minion. And then we've got a 0 cost Priest card, Forbidden Shaping, spend all your mana, summon a random minion that costs that much. So basically the idea, as you can obviously see, is that when you play these cards, it spends the remaining mana you have in your mana pool, the remaining mana crystals that are available, and it does some effect based on that. In the Mage card's case, it does damage to a minion, and in the Priest card, it summons a random one. Now, my first initial gut reaction is, random minion, unstable portal, you're back, only now we don't have to play the creature, it just comes out. But it's a little bit different than that, obviously. It's a card that the longer you wait to play it, theoretically, the better minion you'll get, although there are some minions for high cost that aren't really that great, you know, so it could backfire too. That's the point of randomness. But it's an interesting mechanic to think about, because there's a lot of turns in Hearthstone, towards the late game especially, where you're just not going to be able to spend all your mana, and you're going to have, you know, kind of leftover stuff. So the question with these cards is, do you play them early on to get sort of a tempo advantage? Do you use an earlier Forbidden Flame on, say, a 3-mana turn to take out a minion that you couldn't handle otherwise? You know, do you use an early Forbidden Shaping to get that sort of early game board presence that you need to hold off an aggro deck as a priest? You know, or do you wait late game? Do you wait for Forbidden Flame to be essentially a big counter to a high health minion? Or do you save Forbidden Shaping and hope you roll lucky on a huge minion that your opponent can't deal with? And I like the concept of this, and I want to see more. You know, I want to see what other forbidden cards Blizzard has in mind for this expansion for the other classes. It's cool to see. So just to look at the cards specifically, let's look at Forbidden Flame first. So spend all your mana, deal that much damage to a minion. We know things like Flame Cannon are going to be rotating out of Standard, and again, these videos are more oriented to speak about Standard format than Wild. And so we'll need some sort of replacement. You know, we've got the Torch cards, right, from League of Explorers, but it's nice to have another option. I think Forbidden Flame kind of fills that gap pretty well, where it's a flexible card, and that's the idea behind these, is to be flexible, where you can either use it, like I mentioned, to handle an early minion, or you can hold it in your hand for late game if you're playing against a Control Warrior or some other class that you know is going to have big minions coming down, and you can maybe deal with that. It might cost your entire turn, but if you have no other answer to that minion and you lose the game otherwise, it's not too bad. I think this one is going to see a little bit more use in our Priest card, Forbidden Shaping. Spend all your mana, summon a random minion that costs that much. Just because, again, I mean, the whole random aspect of it. It could go very good, it could go very bad. It's going to be interesting to go back and examine just what minions are going to be available once Nax and GVG rotates out. Because you can kind of think of it that way. And so this card is going to require a lot of research to be used well. A good Priest player who uses this card is going to know what turn they have the highest likelihood of getting a big swing minion on, a minion that can really have a profound effect on the board state, on the game. So Forbidden Shaping is going to be a card that I think will probably see a decent amount of usage early on, drop off as people kind of get mixed results and haven't figured it out yet, and then once people kind of decide the best turns to use on it and work that into the mana curve of their Priest deck, we're going to probably see it come back a little bit. That's the prediction I've got for that card. But I like the Mage card a little bit more. I feel like it's going to be more useful overall. I shy away from any random minion summoning in general from a competitive aspect. Obviously, you know, with things like Piloted Shredder going out of the meta, we're like, yay, no more Piloted Shredder. But then this comes in and we're like, more random minions. So with this card, it's better than Piloted Shredder because you are able to mitigate the randomness to a certain extent. You know, we're going to be able to go in, like I said, and find those turns that this card is going to be best to play on. And it's going to cost, you know, or, you know, not even your turn. You can just spend a certain X amount of mana to get down to the cost where you know you've got a better chance of getting a good minion too, and do it that way. You know, you don't have to spend your entire turn's mana on these cards either. So it's going to take a lot of research, I think, to figure out how best to work this priest card into competitive decks. But as far as the mage card goes, I think that has a lot of utility and a lot of diversity, and we're going to see it. We're going to see two of them in a lot of decks almost immediately. So there you go, my first impressions about this cool new mechanic that Blizzard is instituting in Whispers of the Old Gods. And we'll see if I'm right or not. Either way, I'm looking forward to trying out the cards and looking forward to seeing what comes next. Thanks for watching. Again, leave me feedback on my channel. I'd love to hear it. Tweet at me at ggDoA. Let me know as well. I think the music volume should be a little bit better today, so let me know. All right, thanks for watching, guys. See you next time.